Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night with a pain so sharp it feels like your body is turning against you? A pain that comes out of nowhere, gripping your lower back and making every movement unbearable. If this sounds familiar, you might have experienced one of the most intense pains known to medicine, a kidney stone. Kidney stones affect millions of people worldwide, with studies showing that 1 in 11 adults will develop them at some point in their lives. The pain they cause has been compared to childbirth, and for many, the experience is so traumatic that they live in constant fear of it happening again. What's even more concerning is that once you've had a kidney stone, your chances of getting another one increase dramatically. Take David, for example, a 42-year-old father of two who was enjoying a weekend barbecue with his family when he suddenly felt a stabbing pain in his lower back. At first, he thought it was a muscle strain, but within minutes, he was doubled over, sweating and unable to find relief in any position. The emergency room visit that followed confirmed his worst fear. A kidney stone was making its painful journey through his body, and there was nothing he could do to stop it. Or was there? In today's episode, we'll uncover the truth about kidney stones, what causes them, how long they take to pass, and most importantly, what you can do to speed up the process and prevent them from returning. Whether you've had a kidney stone before, know someone who has, or simply want to protect yourself from experiencing this nightmare, this episode is for you. Stay with us as we break down everything you need to know, including real-life insights, expert advice, and actionable steps that could save you from days or even weeks of agony. David's story wasn't unique, but at that moment it felt like he was the only person in the world suffering. He gripped the hospital bed's side rails as another wave of pain hit. The doctor walked in, studying his chart before offering a small nod. "David, we've confirmed it. You have a kidney stone about 4 millimeters in size." His heart sank. He had heard of kidney stones before, but he never thought he would be the one lying here waiting for relief. The doctor continued, explaining that kidney stones form when certain substances, like calcium, oxalate, and uric acid, become too concentrated in the urine. Instead of dissolving, they crystallize, eventually growing into hard stones that can lodge anywhere in the urinary tract. David struggled to process the information. "So, this is all because of something in my urine?" he asked, his voice strained. The doctor nodded. "Exactly. The main causes are dehydration, excessive salt intake, and certain foods that contain high levels of oxalate." David groaned. He wasn't much of a water drinker, and his diet, well, he loved salty snacks and red meat. "So what happens now? How long will this last?" That was the million-dollar question. The time it takes to pass a kidney stone varies greatly, depending on its size and location. Studies have shown that smaller stones, around 2 millimeters, can pass in about 8 days on average, but for some, it can take up to a month. Stones between 2 and 4 millimeters, like David's, take around 12 days, with the unlucky ones suffering for up to 40 days. And for stones larger than 4 millimeters, nearly half of those cases require medical intervention. David wasn't sure he could bear this pain for 12 days, let alone 40. "Is there anything I can do to make it pass faster?" he asked, gripping the sheets as another wave of pain hit. The doctor's expression was reassuring. "Absolutely. First and foremost, hydration. You need to drink at least 2.5 liters of water every day. Think of it like a river pushing a rock downstream. The more water you drink, the stronger the flow, helping the stone move through your system faster." David nodded weakly, committing to his new water regimen. But the doctor wasn't finished. "Pain management is crucial too. Over-the-counter medications like ibuprofen or naproxen don't just relieve pain. They also reduce inflammation, which can help the urethra relax and make it easier for the stone to pass." David listened carefully, but one suggestion caught him off guard. "And believe it or not, sexual activity might help." He blinked. "Excuse me?" The doctor smiled. "It sounds strange, but research suggests that engaging in sexual activity can increase nitric oxide levels in the body. This relaxes smooth muscles, including those in your urethra, potentially helping the stone pass faster." David let out a dry chuckle. "So you're saying drinking water and having sex might help me get rid of this thing?" "That's right. It's not a guaranteed cure, but it's one of several natural ways to encourage stone passage." Determined to avoid another hospital trip, David took his doctor's advice seriously. He forced himself to drink water constantly, kept ibuprofen within reach, and even considered the more unconventional methods. A week passed, then another. Each day, the pain fluctuated. Some moments were tolerable, others unbearable. But on the 12th day, just when he thought he couldn't take another minute of suffering, he felt a strange sensation while urinating, a sudden sharp sting, and then relief. The stone had passed. David stared at the tiny, jagged speck at the bottom of the toilet bowl. That tiny thing had caused him so much agony. But instead of feeling defeated, he felt empowered. He knew he never wanted to go through this again, and that meant making changes. Drinking more water became non-negotiable. He cut down on salt, swapped processed snacks for healthier alternatives, and made an effort to be more conscious of the foods he consumed. He even encouraged his friends to do the same. "Trust me, you don't want to experience this," he would say, warning them with a shake of his head. For those who have had kidney stones before, the risk of recurrence is high. Studies show that within 5 years, up to 50% of patients will develop another stone if they don't make lifestyle changes. That's why prevention is key. So what can you do? Start by increasing your water intake. Aim for at least 2.5 liters a day, more if you live in a hot climate or exercise frequently. Reduce your sodium intake. Too much salt increases the amount of calcium in your urine, making stone formation more likely. Be mindful of foods high in oxalates, such as spinach, nuts, and chocolate, especially if you have a history of kidney stones. And if you're prone to uric acid stones, cutting back on red meat and alcohol can help. David's journey wasn't easy, but it taught him something valuable. Small changes can prevent big problems. If you've ever had a kidney stone or want to avoid one, the time to act is now. Don't wait until you're writhing in pain on a hospital bed. Start making healthier choices today. In our next segment, we'll discuss medical treatments for stubborn kidney stones and when it's time to seek professional help. Stay with us, and remember, taking care of your health is always worth it. David's journey through the agony of passing a kidney stone is one that many can relate to, and his story carries an important lesson. Kidney stones are not just a random occurrence. They are often a result of our daily habits, what we drink, what we eat, and how we care for our bodies. But the good news? Small, consistent changes can make all the difference. If there's one takeaway from today's episode, it's this: prevention is always better than treatment. Hydration is your best friend. Drinking at least 2.5 liters of water daily helps keep your kidneys functioning smoothly. Watching your diet, reducing excessive salt, and being mindful of oxalate-rich foods can significantly lower your risk of stone formation. And if you ever find yourself in David's position, remember that patience, hydration, and proper pain management can help you get through it. But here's the most important part: you're not alone in this journey. So many people have battled kidney stones and come out stronger, more informed, and more determined to take better care of their health. Change might feel overwhelming at first, but every small step, whether it's drinking more water, swapping out salty snacks, or staying active, is a step toward a healthier, pain-free life. David learned this lesson the hard way, but you don't have to. Start today. Make that first choice to prioritize your health, and trust me, your body will thank you. If you found this episode helpful, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with a friend or loved one who might need this information. And don't forget to subscribe for more insights on health and wellness. Drop a comment below if you've ever had a kidney stone and share what helped you get through it. Let's build a community where we learn from each other and support one another on our journey to better health. Thank you for joining us today. Until next time, stay hydrated, stay informed, and take care of yourself because you're worth it.